Welcome back to On the Couch with Dr. Rey. Just before the break, we were talking about the woman's psyche. Why do you think we are so obsessed with beauty? Do you think it's got to do with the celebrities, what we see in magazines?
Yes.
Why are we so obsessed?
That's another great question. Not only are you pretty, but you're very smart as well. And we see that theme throughout South Africa. Today, with the globalization of the economy, pressure is immense. It's not how it was in our parents in the 60s. Competition is brutally insane, especially in the media, in business, and law, and medicine, everything. So, competition just to stay alive. Fortune 500s, when there are two candidates who are equal, of course, doesn't matter what BS they tell you, they're going to take the more presentable one. Let's talk about relationships. Used to be that you were competing with this gal here for that one handsome guy in your street. No more. For that guy, the whole world is competing with you on MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, for that guy. So even in relationships, you're competing with a lot of people. Part of this is our fault, and we'll take full responsibility for it. We plastic surgeons have become very prominent, and we can make people perfect, almost perfect, and that's a disservice to society. And finally, magazines, the media, you guys are as guilty as I am. I've undressed 30,000 of the most beautiful women in creation. From the Jacksons to the Spears to the everything and everyone in between. The interesting thing is they look great on the magazine cover. But when that dress falls on the floor after I lock the door of my examining room, it's not the girl that was on the magazine cover. That little tush that was like this is like this when it gets undressed. So perfection doesn't exist, but you guys Photoshop the covers. So the poor girls at home think, oh my God, my husband expecting to look like that. Let me tell you this. Having indeed undressed the most beautiful woman in the world, there are no perfect bodies. I have never, listen very carefully, girls.
Yay, we're very glad to hear that.
I have never seen two breasts that were equal. I have never seen a girl without a stretch mark. And I'm talking celebrity and queens now. I have never seen a woman without cellulite. But the magazine cover shows them perfect.
Not real.
It doesn't exist. So they're knocking down on my door. At one point, I was 2 years behind. It took a year to see me and a year to go to surgery. That is what the demand is like. So,
have you turned anyone away?
I have the highest rejection rate on earth. 90% rejection rate.
Why would you reject someone?
Because today, we have the technology, we have the know-how to look beautiful without a knife. People, plastic surgery is great. We come a long ways. The South African plastic surgeons have contributed quite a bit. But this is not without risk. Let's look at mortality. You drive down the streets here in South Africa, the risk of dying is 3 in 100,000. Pretty good odds. The risk of dying from a tummy tuck is 1 in 100. These are women with small children. Women in their 60s don't get tummy tucks. It's young women who get tummy tucks, young moms. So what I decided to do is, I had an epiphany at mid-career. I'm 20 years as a surgeon. I had an epiphany. There's got to be an answer to looking good without taking the risk of surgery. Now, you had 10 kids, you breastfed each one 3 years. Maybe you need a plastic surgeon. Yeah. There's no cream on earth that's going to cure you. But I discovered, and I'm going to take some liberties here, of course.
Oh, please do. I need some.
When God was handing out impulse control, he passed me over. So I don't have a lot of impulse control. But anyhow, we saw her beautiful lips, how it was before. I discovered in the Brazilian rainforest, which is, by the way, very similar to the African rainforest, some amazing plants. In this particular example right here is a #1 in the United States. As a matter of fact, they can't keep it stocked. It penetrates this beautiful skin, blocks the orbicularis oris muscle by blocking the 7th cranial nerve. If you think that's not possible, think about how we shoot the monkeys off the trees in South America. One shot, the monkey falls stiff off the tree. Plants can't do that. So GABA is the neurotransmitter inhibitor that I put in here, plus wonderful plants that will plump you up, and it's additive. Each year you get more, each day you get more and more plumped. It'll give a beautiful flush like that first kiss. That was the idea I was trying to create. I live the paleo diet.
Yeah, please tell us about the diet. Because that's one thing that women always struggle with, Any woman, any of us.
Ladies, all diet. Listen very carefully before you spend money buying all these expensive books, all these meal plans. Listen very carefully. As a Harvard-trained plastic surgeon who's been very busy for 20 years, and who's a martial artist, so has studied all other philosophies as well, and was a chemistry major before I went to medical school, I will tell you without hesitation, all diets will fail. You will lose weight for 2 weeks. This is just dehydration. By the 3rd week, horrifyingly, you'll start to gain again. Look at the guys who wrote the book. Many times they're overweight and they die early. So I don't want to criticize diet by diet, but there's only one diet that works, the Paleolithic diet. If you look at a clock, the 12 numbers in a clock, they theorize we've been around for 100,000 years as a human species. And I think we came from Adam, but we'll go along with that BS. They think we've been around 100,000 years. And so we are at 1154. All the rest of that time, we were hunters and gatherers. We ate 200 plants, and we ate 200 animals. Paleolithic time is about the time of Noah, about the time of Abraham. We were hunters and gatherers. As you know, Moses was 120 years, had 3 wives, and had a child in his hundreds. So because we had such variety, because we walked so much, breast cancer did not exist. Listen very carefully. Breast cancer did not exist. There was no high blood pressure. There was no obesity. There was no arthritis. There was no cancer of any type. And what happens is we created that by consuming grains. Why is it that we went from 200 plants to 5 plants? Potato from the Incas. We went to corn, again, from Mesoamerica. We have wheat, rice, peanuts. Never, guys should never eat peanuts because it gives gynecomastia, breast in men. These plants, the reason why we chose them, because they're easy to store. And because they have a substance on a chemical on it called lectin, which is extremely dangerous to humans. It creates the syndrome X, which is obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and so on and so forth. So here is the perfect diet. It is the diet of the hunters and gatherers. Here in Africa, there's a tribe who is still a hunter and gathering tribe. It's called the Kung. And look, they're tall. They have no cavities. They're always happy. They're lean. We have to go back to that. So we have to eat every 3 hours. The longer between meals, the fatter you get. The shorter between meals, the leaner you get. Look at your friends who are very ripped, like you girls here. Constantly little meals all day long.
6 meals a day.
So 1 hand of animal protein, lean meat, has to be organic because they put female hormone into the meat. Hormones to fatten the cow up. 1 hand of meat, lean meat, and 3 hands of fruits and vegetables. Every 3 hours. It's 6 meals a day and lots of supplements because we narrowed down to 5 food groups. And we used to eat 200 different animals and plants. Most of them extinct now. So you have to eat, I take about 27 supplements a day. So,
and look at you. 50 years old, am I right?
And I will look like this when I'm 93 and they put me in the ground. So you can be young till the day they put you in the ground. So lots of water. Even if you juice fruit, the juice is high glycemic. So the fruit, the juice in the fruit, good, because the enzymes of the fruit will break it down. But if you juice it, that juice is high glycemic, even if you squeeze it yourself. Right. So mostly water, little squeeze of lemon, eat every 3 hours. Women must eat chocolate every day.
Goodness
chocolate
gracious.
turns on PAE inside your brain, which increases serotonin and dopamine, and turns on your little ovaries. Very good for you. Women need to walk at least 3 times a week for 45 minutes. That builds male hormone inside of you, which increases your libido. A lot of women, half of all women in reproductive years have very low libido. The BS they tell you that they're doing twice a week is a lie. They're doing once a season. Once in the spring, once in the winter, once in the summer. And they're lying to you when they say we do it every other night. Very, very deleterious to your marriage. So by exercise, you create a little male hormone, and that male hormone increases your libido. Libido is a very untalked about problem among women.
That's true.
And that comes from the terrible diet of grains that we eat.
So no
grains
more grains
are for fat people.
Grains are out.
Yes.
Excellent.
Except oats, which lower your cholesterol, and you can eat very, very, very whole grain bread, 2 slices a day max. That's it.
Let's get
Milk
back to.
is a poison.
Can we get back to the plastic surgery?
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Plastic surgery, what is hot in Hollywood, Dr. Rey?
You know what? I'm so proud of the girls because women have, it doesn't matter what the media says, women are doing very well. They're going back to the gym, they're exercising, they're watching their diet. And so lipo used to be number one, is no longer number one.
That's very scary looking.
Right, very scary looking. And that's a short one. I have one about this long. We put it all the way inside of you. We don't know where that tip is. We don't know where that tip is. So can you die from lipo?
Of course you can.
That's why I start my days with a prayer.
That's why we go to the diet first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything is here, all the supplements, bodybyray.com. You can get everything, all the secrets to being lean and mean forever. So number one in Hollywood is the breast. The big balloons of Baywatch are long. Look how beautiful your lips are long. Don't scream, just let them be pouty. Look how beautiful they are. The big boobs of Baywatch are long. Do you guys have Baywatch here?
Yeah,
okay.
Pamela Anderson.
They're long since gone. Today, probably Natalie Portman's going to win the Academy Award, so she's going to be the it girl. So those cute B's and little C's are back. Thank God, because I got tired of the big balloons.
So it's a trend. So are you saying that
plastic surgery is like fashion? It changes every year. It changes every year. So breast is number one now. Number two will surprise you. Used to be that we stuck this implant in women's behinds, so that Latin, that African tushy is in. As you saw in the Golden Globes, it was all about the tush. I speak as a man. I think the tushy is a very pretty part of the woman, and don't let it go flat, you know. So do your leg raises. But we used to, and it's a great operation, 7-centimeter incision to stuff this inside the girl. The scar never heals as well as virgin skin. So they would split my scar 30% of the time. Horrifying. And the implant will come out. So today, that little fat they don't like, we spin it. We take out the stem cells. Isn't that amazing where science is? And without an incision, I put in the muscle of their butts and it starts to proliferate like the surrounding muscle. Body's very smart. Every guy knows that if you work out, you'll grow to a certain level, then you stop growing. Butt's the same. You get that beautiful little porno butt, and it stops growing. You put a little shelf on it, you put a little tray on it, looks beautiful. And very low risk. There's that new, so that's number two. Number three is cosmetic surgery of the intimates. I don't know if you want to go down that road, but there's some great minimally invasive operations. The Zenora laser. It's a cold laser, no redness, no downtime. It makes the fat come out of the pore of your cells, and it's picked up by your circulation. And you can lose lots of weight without any downtime. They have not yet found a side effect of the Zenora laser.
That's amazing.
A cold laser for losing weight.
Dr. Rey, I want to talk to you about reality TV and living in this bubble and the pressures that must put on your family. How do you cope as a family with all the cameras and the invasiveness of reality TV?
It's 11 years for us now. And we started in 2000, almost 11 years. And they literally live in your house because the ratio of Hollywood, as you well know, is 20-1. So they'll shoot 20 more times than what they need. And they literally sleep in my house. But there is a flip side to this fame of reality. It is, you know, we're 173 countries. 99.99% of the fans, as you well know, you have the same pressures, are very, very good fans. But that 0.001%, example, I get a letter from the southern part of the United States, which is a little bit more racist. And the letter, literally, just like movie, the letter's cut out of a newspaper and glued on a piece of paper. Dr. Rey, you had a mixed couple on your show. I'm going to burn your house and throw acid on your face.
Lovely.
So I panicked. I asked Demi Moore, I said, you know, I got a death threat. Is this common around here? She said, how many are you getting a year? I said, I'm getting one death threat a year. She says, that's all you're getting? So we got the high fence, and I got the Glock under the pillow, and I got the, the German Shepherds throughout the house, and the close circuit cameras.
You have to be careful.
Los Angeles is not a safe city, as you well know. It's among the top 10 most dangerous cities in the world.
But then we've also seen the demise of a lot of celebrity couples, specifically as celebrities.
These are very intelligent questions, you see.
And that are part of the reality shows. So any concerns about the pressure specifically on you and Hailey as a couple?
Well, you're forgetting, I judge these missed competitions. As a plastic surgeon, I'm asked to do the bizarrest things. I don't know what brain surgeons get asked to do, But as a plastic surgeon, because we know all the measurements of the human body, we know every measurement of the human body, we know what constitutes beauty. You know what I'm saying? We know, for example, the ratio of the base of your nose to your mouth should be 0.6 to 1. And that throughout your body, the base of your thumb should fall right on your gluteal fold. Your boob should be at mid-arm. So we know all the measurements in the human body. And because we know that, we're invited to do Miss competitions worldwide. Right. Miss competitions can be very dirty. These powerful families will call you, will threaten you at the hotel at night. Yeah. But the other thing that happens is you open the door and there it is, that 19-year-old who you're going to judge tomorrow, knocking on your door at 11:30 at night. Hi, Dr. Rey. So I'm 15,000 miles away from my wife, and no one's watching. I could do anything I want. What you're forgetting is that 35 years ago, I was brought to America by Christian missionaries. Right. And so
those morals are instilled.
It was a very, very critical point in a young man's life. And it's like a donut. You put a marble in a donut. Is the marble in the donut or outside the donut? It's actually outside the donut. You can be in Hollywood, but not of Hollywood. Right. I go to parties. We throw wild parties. We're going to throw wild parties here. But you never see me drinking. You never see me doing. There are parties in Hollywood where the narcotics are on a tray on every table. You're never going to see me doing drugs. You're never going to see me drinking. I'm a big flirt, but I've never been disloyal to my wife. And that's what saved us. Is in that dark, dark, dark night of Hollywood, we have that beam of light far in the distance that guides us. You know what I'm saying? And I heard a great physicist one time say, when they asked him, what did you learn in all these years as a Nobel laureate in physics? And he says, the light which shine brightest shined first over Jerusalem. And in my last breath, I will say the same. The light which shine brightest shined first over Jerusalem.
We're going to leave it right there. Dr. Rey, thank you so much for joining us on the couch. Well, that's it for this episode of On the Couch. For me, Jacqui, now, let's cheers for now.